everybody. Welcome to Talk Story Tuesday. Kamaka Brown here with the Sandwich Island Social Network. The Sandwich Island Social Network presents a series of interesting, fun conversations sharing the lives and journey of people in our island community wherever they may be. And the Sandwich Island Social Network is a non-profit organization serving Hawaiians at heart, Polynesians away from their island home. And we gratefully accept tax-deductible donations to support the work we do in the community. And you'll see in the upper right-hand corner of your screen, sandislands.org is where you can go to find out how you can support the work that we do. So for a very, very special Talk Story Tuesday, I have some great friends of mine. I'm glad we're able to get together. We always see each other in passing because we're at events or we're always busy, but really special to sit down and talk story on Tuesday right now with the gentleman of coming in the green room, FAIVA. What's up? Good morning. What's up, guys?
Hi everyone.
Oh, up here, upper right-hand side of your screen, Mr. Teeny Gray. What's up, Teeny?
How's it, guys?
And we get Vaya in his new gigs in Costa Mesa, I've heard. So, you still help moving or what, Vaya? We can come help move. You okay?
I think I'm good now. Just gonna take all week to unpack.
But are you all moved
Oh,
in?
thank good, because we're busy.
Yeah.
all moved in.
You know this Polynesian style. We offer to help after you move in. But, bro, you need help.
Yeah. Oh, sorry, bro. I never got the call.
and on top of that, I remember when back home in Honolulu, I had a pickup truck. Everybody would call me up. Hey, bro, what you doing Saturday? Before I used to say, oh, nothing. Oh, good. Can you help me move? I learned, man. What you doing Saturday? Oh, I don't know. Why, bro? You always gotta ask. And last but not least, Dr. Grant right over there. Aloha, welcome.
Aloha, talofa.
You are in northern San Diego. So we say that it's kind of north of San Diego.
Yep, I'm in San Marcos right now, Oceanside. Yeah, North County, San Diego.
Yeah, we've got some echo that's going on, and we try to diminish the echo with the technology, but for some reason it persists. But we're gonna be more stubborn than the echo and try to continue our show here, even though there's a little bit of echo still happening. Hopefully not that invasive to our conversation here today. So I usually start with, and because it's right around lunchtime right here in Southern California, I'm getting smoking hangry over here. And you know us Polynesians, man, with your Hawaiian, Samoan, Fijian, Tongan, Marshall Islands, Cook, you name it, we like grind. Where we going to eat, boys? Where we going to eat?
Vaya's got the spot. He's got a favorite spot.
You got a
Spot.
spot?
My favorite Samoan food place out in Carson, Holly Grill and Bakery. Shout out to you guys.
Grill and Bakery in Carson.
Yeah.
Okay. So tell me, obviously it's a bakery. I can get pastries and stuff, but they get what else they get over there?
Oh, they get all of it. They have the sapasui, the corned beef. They have the taro, the banana. They have even of course all the bakery stuff too, panipopo and all the half moon pies and everything.
Now I'm really hungry.
Wait, bro. I'm drooling or
They get the infamous turkey tail.
Oh, gotta get turkey tail.
Well, if you're hitting the gym at 24, you should. It's okay to eat the turkey tails.
Yeah. So some of our friends are popping in over here. Here is Kay Bennett in the north wing of the Brown Bennett
estate.
She's saying aloha, and some of our friends are saying, Gary Gotori says, you got a reverb thing going. Yeah, we tried to get rid of as much of the echo as we possibly can. Hopefully, it's not too invasive on our conversation here today as well. We get Marty Burns. Brother Marty Burns says, Aloha, everyone.
Martin,
Hey,
brother
Marty.
Marty, how you?
Brother Marty is out there. They're all part of our regulars, our Ohana. They come and check us out. And we have Abella, Le Aloha, Aloha
Oh,
Kamaka.
Hey,
aloha, Bella.
Bella, aloha.
Man,
She's so
Faiva,
sweet.
isn't she a sweet? Let's
Whoa.
let's talk about her being just a beautiful hula dancer, and
Oh, we're
Yes.
waiting for her to dance for us when we sing.
yes, there you go. You have an open invitation. Need some need some of her beautiful hula and her dances as well. All right. Oh, Valerie and Duha. Valerie Napohaku
How
is
you,
checking in.
Valerie?
Valerie. We love Valerie and Steve, great friends and
Yes.
great supporters of the Sandwich Island Social Network. Uh, there is Chef Brunson. Oh, brother
Oh,
Brunson. We should go his house.
Oh
Brother's one
yeah.
chef. Brother can cook, bro.
Okay, let's
He can
go.
cook.
Where
You
does
go.
Brunson live?
I know, yeah. Let's post your address, Brunson.
Can you please? Thanks.
And Abella says, "Oh, ho'a makakao, love you, FAIVA." So sweet, so sweet. I've also posted right over here for our friends that want to just, you can find out um, a lot of information about FAIVA. If you're not familiar with their music, we're gonna be talking about the music, playing some of the music today as we have conversation with these brothers over here. But FAIVAmusic.com has all the repository of a lot of information about the group itself. Um, Tini, you and I met a number of years ago. I want to go back to 2011, 20, 2012, around there. When did you release your first CD, which was Shades of Grey? Was it
It
right
was
around there?
2011. Yep.
2011, right?
Yep.
And I had the radio station, and I saw that this was happening. Boom! You invited me down to the CD release party, and
My Thai
that's
bar. Yep.
my Thai bar. I lost
Missed that place.
I lost a few brain cells at my Thai bar. Every time.
All the scraps, yeah, Uncle.
That was the hang, right? That was the hang for a while, man.
Yeah,
Oh,
it was.
Yeah.
everybody who was anybody, everybody, and everybody who was nobody would hang out at the Mai Tai bar over there. Oh,
Yeah, a lot
goodness.
of bands started there, including Common Kings and Jay Book. Everybody who's kind of traveled the world now, all kind of
yeah,
started in that little restaurant. So I kind of missed that spot, but luckily there's still one in Hawaii,
Right,
Ala Moana.
right,
So,
right.
you know,
They're still going.
yep,
And I think that's where I first met Vaya too, at Mai Tai when he came out.
yeah.
Yeah, and
yeah,
Vaya, you had just come from Samoa, and you were hanging with Tini and with the guys, and playing the music as well. And I remember hearing you, Vaya,
Yeah.
going, "Who is this guy? Where he came from? This guy is amazing." Yeah. So Tini,
So,
tell me a little bit about your musical journey over here. We crossed paths, and you had different bands. And tell me about your music and yourself as Tini Gray, or Lord Grayson, as you're also known as.
yeah. Well, some people may know that I come from a musical family. Like I said, my brother is Mata of Common Kings. My dad is Jerome Gray, popular musician from the islands of Samoa. And in the household, it was popular. We grew up with music in the around us, but I always kind of took it for granted, really, until it wasn't until later on when I was in early 20s, I kind of discovered music myself personally, and that was when I started gigging a lot more when I came here from Hawaii. I was with Rain in Hawaii. We were performing with a group called Rain. We did stuff with the Honolulu Symphony. Henry Capono, even Lou Rawls. We opened up for Lou Rawls. So, and I started playing at these little bars in right there in downtown on 4th Street Mall. I used to play music for Tihatis in Waikiki and would travel inner island playing Polynesian music. And then we moved up here with Angela with our one son at the time, and now we have five. She Mauna Lua grad. We met out there in Waikiki at Saint Augustus Church. We met there as youngsters, and we got married there. But it wasn't until I came to California I had a discovery of kind of like yearning to do something myself as a soloist. And that was when 2011 I started writing, and I produced my own record, and I started kind of helping out my dad with his future projects and kind of helping my brother promote his band. And then we had the Jerome Gray Trio with my dad. We did an album with him and my brother. I think it did really well for what it was. We were hoping to record a second album, but somebody named Mata decided to go up and become famous.
But decided to grow up and become famous. I love that. I'm gonna write that down.
Oh yeah, something like that. Anyways, I was waiting around for oh man, I would love to do this some more. But while that was happening, I did a few more solo projects. But it's different. I'm an introvert, as you'll see. Most of us are here over here. But my dad is kind of like the front guy. Mata's the front guy, and I felt like man, I would love to play to do a project like this again. But Dad's a little older now, and I was kind of just kind of waiting for the right moment, the right time. And Vaya was around, and he was still trying to find what he was doing too. It never really clicked, exactly. I just knew all these ingredients were all over the place. Now, what kind of concoction can we come up with? And then one day I was getting a certain age, and I was just like, man, I would love to do more traditional music. And somehow we crossed paths with Dr. Grant here. He was playing with Tupua Productions, kind of helping them out. And probably once a year, I would see him oh, shoot, I forgot about Grant. And I always thought he was hey, who's this Hawaiian guy helping him out? Not knowing that he's really someone, and he's really, he always impressed me. And then, and then me and Vaya spoke, and we're like, man, wouldn't it be great if we did a trio again? And then I said, man, who would we? And I always had this idea of man, I would love to see if we can get together with Grant. Never really knew him personally. It was always crossing paths. And one day, me and Vaya, I said, Vaya, what do you think? We should, can we kind of get together with this guy and see how it works out? And we started jamming. We're just Grant, hey, what do you think? I had this idea, and we started playing music. I think the first song we already knew, man, this feels good.
Wow.
And then, what do you think? And then I went home after we all kind of were jamming for an hour. I went home and I was inspired, and I sent an email to the fellas, and I said, hey man, I have this idea, which they also had, and I said, let's do something, and see where it goes, and even if it's for a short span, at least let's do something impactful in the industry with Samoan music, and here I am, and here they are, and I'm sure you'd like to hear their stories.
Wow, that's beautiful. Thank you, man. Here's our friend Kavika Kahiapo. He goes, aloha guys, aloha tini. We was hanging with Taumata and Common Kings at the EM Tongi show
Oh,
Turtle
yes.
Bay a couple weeks ago.
Awesome.
Talk
Aloha,
about a
Kavika.
talented.
Love your music, Kavika.
Oh man, Kavika's baritone voice.
Oh yeah, Kavika's an
Right?
awesome musician.
Oh,
Yeah,
love
singer,
that.
everything.
Good. Thanks, Kavika, for jumping.
Mahalo, Kavika.
Yeah. And thanks for being a part of EM Tongi's and celebration over there. I know you had a huge part, Kavika, in pulling talent together and making that happen with Jack Johnson and Paula Fuga and
Yeah.
all those guys. You were right in there, Kavika. So
Nice to see everybody come together and support.
yes.
Yeah, it was nice. It was beautiful for everybody. Yep.
And myself being a North Shore boy, I went to Kahuku, kindergarten, first grade, yeah, because we was living in North Shore,
Wow.
and then went to Wailua. So I'm a North Shore guy. So anytime you start talking about that whole North Shore area, it's yeah, that's my hood over there. Yeah, here's Marty Burns. Marty is going, oh, so much talent in one family, the Gray family. In fact, a lot of the community is mad at the Gray family. Can I say it right now? I'm going to say it right now. We are not happy with the Gray family because when the
Oh
kids were
no!
born,
What happened?
yes.
What did Mata do? What?
No, the Gray family took all the talent from the community, man. All sucked it right into the Gray family. All us guys
Oh
were
my
left.
gosh!
Not fair, you guys. You guys took all the talent, man. Except you left some for Grant and for Vaya, but
No. As you'll see, they carry a huge load in the performances. So like, no, they hold their own.
Kabika says Rain was incredible. Oh, those harmonies of Rain, uh,
That was
memorable,
a fun
man.
time. Yeah,
Right?
Kale Chang, who mixed our record, our single and this new record. Yeah, he was the one that arranged all those intricate parts for Rain. So shout out to Kale Chang.
Right. Your album was mixed by Kali Chang, Alva'a Studios in
Yes.
Honolulu. Yeah.
Yeah,
So still keeping those connections. The people that you connect with
got to.
in your journey, right? Sometimes full circle comes right around over there, folks. Yeah.
Definitely. Well,
Yeah.
he's definitely a brother. So
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And then Chef Brunson is saying, "Shoots, bro, come over to the house. We'll go
let's go. Hey, we'll go and we'll shoot a video from there. We'll shoot a
eat."
music video.
Ooh, that would be fun. That would be fun, fun, fun. Um, Vaya,
Yes.
you talented. I was so proud when I first met you. Your jazz licks on the guitar. I mean, yeah, it seems to be your leaning has been toward jazz. Were those your influences coming up? Even having been born and raised in Samoa, or what were your influences coming up?
Yeah, jazz was definitely a big influence of mine. My father was into music, so he exposed me to a lot of different styles of music, singer, songwriter, country stuff, soul, R&B, jazz. But who really put me onto jazz was listening to Harry Miller, the late Harry Miller from
Huh.
Samoa, who played with Fanana, Jerome Gray, and they had the Ava band and all that. So just seeing him in person and hearing all the different voicings that he would do, like I was always inspired by that. So I tried to mimic like what he would do on the guitar. He was never much of a teacher. He's more like just listen. That's kind of that's how us that's how the poly men do it.
You mentioned an interesting thing, Vaya, because even the old masters, the slack key masters, the steel guitar masters, right? They really didn't have any formal classes teaching people. What they would say is just watch.
Mm-mm.
Go get me a
Yeah.
beer and come back and just watch.
Yep.
I was talking to Patrick Lendeza not too long ago, and he is celebrated as a great slack key player, right? And his uh, uh, mentors were people like Raymond Kani, Cyril Pahinui, people like that, right? And he would say, they teach me, and they would say, "Never mind, go get me one beer, boy, and then sit over here, just watch the, how I made." And that's how he learned, and that's the old
That's
school
how.
way, just like you said, Vaya.
Pretty much. Uh,
Yeah, yeah,
I was fortunate to grow up, and seeing these older guys still playing around. Because by the time I was born in Pango, the live music scene there pretty much almost completely died out. So there was only a
yeah.
few bands around that were doing live music. And luckily for me, Harry Miller and them were still around. Chico Poesi, people like that, that was still there. And one of my other family members, well, pretty much my brother, Piti Saanga, Robert Saanga, he was into the whole music scene as well.
What do you think
So
was
I got
the
to see a lot
reason?
of them.
What do you think was the reason why live music was kind of going down in that community, that area?
A huge part of it was once the military left. When the military left,
Oh,
Pango, and so a lot of the money, I guess you say, is not as much people were there because back in the '60s and '70s, there was like bars up and down the island, and they had live music, every single one. You could walk in through Whangakongo, Pango village, and go bar hopping, and there would be live bands on in every single one of those. And this was during the time that Fanana Jerome Gray was in Pango at the time too. He told me a lot of stories. I heard all these stories. By the time I was born, growing up in the '90s, there was barely anything anymore because that was the Navy had left and the military,
Yeah,
and they
couldn't
took with
support
them
those
all the
businesses.
all the live music because there's no
Yeah.
more incentive. Not as much was coming into the island, I guess, after that.
Yeah. It's not like Hawaii where the tourism kind of helps, kind of feed that whole entertainment industry. In Samoa, they mainly depended on the military.
Sure.
Yeah.
Sure. Wow. Wow. Very good. And so you played, and just a couple of notes over here via um, hanging out with Common Kings, Sammy J, Fiji, um, Pati, and got a chance to play with those guys. How was that?
It was cool. When I came up from Samoa, I kind of got, I was connected through the whole scene through like my sister who's married to Mata. So that's our connection, me with Tini as well. It's my sister Silulu married to Mata. So, I kind of, that was kind of my like into the whole scene. And then, once people realized that or found out that I played guitar and they were always looking for musicians. So that's how I kind of got in that rotation. So people,
Sweet. Sweet.
yeah, were looking for guitarists all the time. And, I was available.
Yeah. You're not only available with your family, so we know we can depend on you. You're gonna show up at the gig, you're gonna show up. Or else you're gonna hear it from Sister Silolo gonna call you. Where you at?
Yeah.
In fact, I just saw Silulu maybe about 2 weeks ago up at in downtown LA. She was there with the Native American Indian displaying the electric cars, and they had some of the vendors were there, and she was there. And I hadn't seen her for a while. He said, "Hey, long time no see," so it was good to see Silulu there as well.
Mhm.
Cool. Um, I'm going to come to the only gentleman on our back porch over here that has alphabets after his name. Dr. Grant has a PhD and an MA after your name without the Okina. He has worked for that, so we have to call you Dr. Grant. Uh, what are you a doctor of? Help us with that.
So I have a doctorate in linguistics.
So even you get if I show that kind of
Maybe. Lomi Lomi.
uh, what led you to that field of that particular discipline there, Grant?
Yeah. So linguistics is the scientific study of human language, and it covers all the different subfields and different aspects of language. And from a very young age, I was interested in language. Both my parents are Samoan from Samoa. I was born and raised in Oceanside, California. So to an immigrant family here, I heard lots of Samoan, lots of English growing up. So I think just growing up in a sort of bilingual household like that, I really started wanting to learn more about language and how it works. And in addition to like Polynesian culture and that kind of stuff, so I just kind of had an interest from the beginning and pursued trying to learn Samoan, learn Hawaiian, and other Polynesian languages as well. And I kind of just took it to the furthest you can go through as BA, MA, and then PhD that I earned at the University of Hawaii in Mano.
Wow. So you know all the bad words in many languages then. So
He speaks 5 languages.
that's what
It
you're
sure
telling
does.
Going back to how people were mentored, Robert Agnew, who's a great guitar player, great 12-string guitar, he's saying that's how I learned. I was mentored by Roland Cazimero, and he told me just to sit here and watch exactly
Hmm.
on that. But
And that's kind of how Polynesians too teach language as well. growing up trying to learn Samoan, you can't. And I've heard this from like the older Hawaiians as well, the native speakers, is that they don't sit there and like explain to you the grammar and stuff. You just kind of have to sit there and listen and try to use it and kind of take the criticism and the when they make fun of you and stuff and keep going to till you get it right, so it's just a Polynesian approach. The Hawaiian approach, so they say what na na kamaka ho'olo pepe out, listen, use your ears to listen, your eyes to watch, kind of thing, and that's how you learn.
Wow, I love it. Here is Auntie Jerry. Auntie Jerry, can you hear
Auntie
us? Auntie
Jerry.
Jerry, aloha everyone. She says, "There's
Aloha.
there's a voice for you, right? Oh my goodness.
Oh, Songbird, definitely.
She is the Laia songbird from North Shore. Oh my goodness. Bobby Agnew says, "Hey, Dr. Grant, I have bad knees." It's not that kind of doctor, Bobby.
He can speak some incantations to your knees, maybe.
Bobby says, "Hey, that's one smart Samoan. Hey, So how many languages do you speak?
5. Yeah.
Samoan, Hawaiian,
Samoan, Hawaiian, Tongan, Spanish, and then English, of course.
And Pigeon, that's 6.
That's 6.
And
Yeah.
Pigeon, there you go. I can speak Pigeon too.
So, well, us guys come out of the islands. We're all bilingual, English and Pidgin, right?
Yeah.
But 5 languages. Um, and I guess you've been asked this a number of times at conversations on the similarity that runs a common thread through the languages of Polynesia.
That's right. Yeah.
How did that happen? In this?
So we all Polynesian languages all share a common ancestor, which is sort of Proto-Polynesian that probably developed somewhere around the Samoa, Tonga, Fiji triangle area. And then from there, then they spread out to Hawaii and Tahiti and Easter Island and New Zealand and all these other places fairly recently, like in the last 1,000 years or so. So that's why we can still see the similarities within the languages and cultures as well. And within the Polynesian language family, there's sort of, you can kind of categorize them into 2 halves: the Western Polynesian language group, which would include languages like Samoan, Tongan, Tuvalu, Niuean, Tokelauan, and then the Eastern
Tokelau.
Polynesian languages, which are like Hawaiian, Maori, Tahitian, Cook Island, these ones, Easter Island. Yeah. But very, 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 very closely related, as we know. And me growing up exposed to Samoan and then learning Samoan first, it was easier for me to pick up Hawaiian and Tongan and that stuff. Similar to if you speak Spanish, it's probably easier for you to learn, pick up Portuguese, for example, or Italian, because they're very closely related languages. Yeah.
Language is you're right. Languages is such a fascinating study when you trace, right, the etymology, where it all came from, and the language is it's a living thing, isn't it? It continues to evolve.
That's
I
right.
give an example of my cousin, who has a degree in MBA in Hawaiian Studies from UH Manoa. Was invited by the Robinson family to go to Niihau with a group, right? And she prided herself on being able to speak the Olelo Hawaii and everything. She got there and she said, wait, I don't. She said, I was totally at a loss because the Hawaiian language on Niihau has been in a capsule, yeah, and it hasn't evolved, and they're still speaking, I guess, the old style. I don't know whether it's original, but she said much of it had the T's in it, and a lot of T's, a lot of V's, the sounds, and she had to really listen closely. Did you find that to be the case in the languages evolving now as we move forward?
Well, oh yeah, that's right. And just the languages will always change and diverge from them. And Hawaiian at one point before used all T's, spoke more like the Ni Hao dialect, and then slowly the T became K and kind of spread through the islands, starting more from the Big Island, moving towards Ni Hao, right? Mostly with the Kamehameha conquest of the islands, right? And then it got all the way to Kauai, but he never conquered Kauai or Ni Hao, so they kind of kept that T distinction there as well. But they conversationally they use the T style, but with the influence of the missionaries and when they established the orthography, they chose to use K and L, for example, instead of T and R. And so Nihaoan still will read the Bible and sing and all that kind of stuff with the K style. So they do both. Yeah.
By the way, the people of Kauai are very proud that Kamehameha never did conquer them. They came under Kamehameha by treaty. Yeah, they had an agreement or whatever.
Right.
But the Kauai people always, anytime you talk about it, the Kauai people will remind you. That's great. Here's let me see. Abella says, no wonder such beautiful olelo in any language, Samoan, Hawaiian, and more. FAIVA blends so well together. Agreed. 100% there. Thank you for that, Abella. And so Auntie Jerry says that everyone looks so handsome. Aww. Except Kamaka, she says. I didn't put that up there. But she says everyone. She agrees. She said yes. Yes, Ni'ihau, definitely has a very special way. And then here's a friend of ours, C. Honda, checking in. How's it, Kamaka and FAIVA? Thanks for coming and being on Talkstar on Tuesday today. Really, really nice. Tried to get to all of the comments. A lot of our friends are commenting, and if I missed you, Kalamai, I'm sorry. I'll try to circle back around. We're going to take a little break right now, and we will be back in the second half. We're going to hear the music of FAIVA, talk about their music with purpose and their mission in providing the music. Also, again, I remind you, FAIVAmusic.com. You see that at the center of our screen, where you can go and get so much information about FAIVA that you're going to enjoy. We will be right back.
That flower, you have to swim across rivers, climb the highest mountain, bring your machete, cut down the biggest tree.
Sounds like a lot of work.
Yeah, it's a lot of work. It is a lot of work. But the love of a Polynesian woman is definitely worth it. So this song goes, a love song that goes out to all the lovebirds out there. No Sayoriana, say yes a salamaya. Eternal for my mauna, ma efa amariulilai. Ta fawe tenge matawa, etawa yola tose. Ai ulima ile awala, matutese ile oriana. No Sayoriana, eso solo mama, ele tu putele, ai tau fele fele, tu kua oe mai ana mua, kua mata leva matua. Sate Hawaii o Samoana, lo Sayoriana. You grab your partner, start dancing. Lo Sayoriana, ole fua matala. Tala no ai tama ia fia vio eva sui ula filoi se itu fasasa sa vali vali ila masina mapepe se ile oriana lo se oriana eso solo imaua ele tukutele tau fele fele tupua oe mai ana mua fua matana leva matua sa te uahi o Samoana lo se oriana. Eso solo imauna ele tukutele ai tau fele fele tupua oe mai ana mua.
You wash it real quick. No, napkin, napkin. And close this door.
that flower, you have to swim across rivers, climb the highest mountain, bring your machete, cut down the biggest tree.
Sounds like a lot of work.
Yeah, it's a lot of work.
A lot of work, Vaya says. Uh, Cutting down the trees. And by the way, FAIVA is also available to help you cut down trees and stuff. If you anything to get to your love, is that's what that song was about, right? Out there.
We
Uh,
get machetes.
we, so,
Pretty
Tini,
skilled with one.
we got some yeah, multi skills, man, multi skills. You gotta be in these days, right? You gotta be. Uh,
Hmm.
Teeny, earlier on, we were talking about how FIVA got together and how you really found each other. You had different journeys, and you all kind of came together. Um, you decided on a particular sound that you wanted, or it just kind of organically came together, or how did that blend happen?
I think we're all big fans of acoustic music. We're all each, we gig around all over Southern California with that instrument. Via plays electric, of course. He's played all kinds of genres. But when it came down to it, we really enjoy the sound of the acoustic guitar, the ukulele, the upright bass. When we did the Jerome Gray trio, that was kind of our focus. Really, is those specific instruments. And then when Grant and I and Via met, we all agreed on that we'd love to continue on with that path of the acoustic instruments, but this time let's also focus on Polynesian percussion. Like the pahu, the Samoan instruments like the pake, the fala, which is the rolled up mat. If you listen to the record, you hear a lot of those as well. So it's not just the acoustic guitars; it's also the indigenous instruments of Samoa and some other islands from Polynesia.
Nice. Here's our friend Faith Ako. She goes, Lava from Maui. Oh, she's traveling that Faith. You girl.
We we saw her at the Polynesian music. What do you call awards? What was that? We in San
The Heritage
Francisco.
Awards, Polynesian Heritage Awards.
Foundation Heritage
Yes.
Award, and
Yep. In San Francisco. She performed out there.
San
She was
Francisco.
awesome.
Isn't she awesome? That's another light year girl. That's another North Shore girl. Love Faith and her Ohana as well. Thanks for joining us there. You're in Maui, huh? Oh, you girl.
Oh, jealous.
She's going, Jehu! uh, and she's going, hey, Uncle Kamaka, I miss you. I miss you too. You gotta come roll through Southern California again. We can enjoy you as well too. Um, yeah, she goes, I'm traveling. That's typical of Faith. I'm traveling. She goes, smoking.
Hey, invite us next time, Faith, so we can all jam together.
Oh, wouldn't that be cool? And then you
That'd
get
be
down to
awesome.
dancing. Oh my goodness, that's a party I don't want to miss over here. Auntie Jerry saying, "I'm hoping I'm still with you." Yes, yes, yes. I don't know if you got disconnected, but we're still here, and we hope you're still there, Auntie Jerry, to enjoy our conversation. Talk Story Tuesday with Faiva. Um, you've got a beautiful music video
Yeah.
that is there. And if it's okay with you guys, I want to share that. It was so wonderfully done. Uh, Selava, Seleva,
Say
Seleva,
level.
Say Leva.
Seleva. Want to share what the song is about, or what's the feeling on that song?
We'll let Grant talk about it because he wrote it. That's a beautiful
Oh,
tune that he wrote.
beautiful, Grant.
Yep.
Please, please, please.
Um, yeah, so Say Leva, in Polynesian like composition traditions, when we're talking about songs and all that, we use elements in nature to compare to ones that we cherish and ones that we love, from flowers to trees to mountains to the ocean to all these kinds of things. So the say in Samoan is the flower that you wear in your ear. That's called a say. And then the leva is a particular tree that has this beautiful flower, the leva flower, on it. And not only is it beautiful, it has a really pleasant fragrance as well, and it also has healing properties. Like you can use it to make like traditional medicine and that kind of stuff. And so I use that flower of the leva tree as a metaphor to write that I wrote a love song to my wife. who I feel has those properties as well. So the Say Leva song is about sort of me expressing my love for my wife through using the leva flower as a metaphor for that. Yeah.
That's
Aw.
beautiful. Let's
You
enjoy.
can tell
Let's
about the leaves too. You know, the leaves. Ono na laulau. But
Yeah, so you have yeah. There's a line by saying "O na la la aule." So the leaves have like a potency, to it. Like if it's not treated well, it's
could be toxic.
poisonous, I guess, or toxic.
Oh,
Yeah.
Point, yeah.
So like, but the if you treat it, in the right way, it can be like a traditional medicine, has healing properties and that kind of stuff. So, like about cherishing the ones that you love and treating them right and that kind of stuff too.
So we see how Jennifer is. Jennifer, we hear. I hope you're listening to this too. Yeah? Everyone knows now. He's got to treat you right.
Treat them right, they will be pleasant.
Yeah.
if not, Vaya can sing one of his blues songs. He can sing some blues.
There you go.
Let's enjoy then an original by Dr. Grant here. Say Leva. Oh, this is
mo o ngai o lo ua nganga mo o e lo au manongi sa sala mai maunga e puai na yo ma fau fau ne i tau nu le upu ua whaafua ai le whati whai o e mo sei lau funga o la au ua na o e lava se i e maliu mai sau o e si o u se i lewa
My goodness, that sets the mood, right? It has a whole, it just captures you. Um, and you go along for the ride on that song. That's a beautiful song there, Dr. Grant. That's amazing.
Mahalo. Thank you.
That's amazing. Yeah. And a lot of our friends are popping in over here. Auntie Jerry says, very beautiful. And here is Bella. She's putting all her hearts and she's saying she loves it. And the Trina lives kind of near you, and then Grant up there in northern San Diego. Trina lives up there. We just saw her this
Oh,
past week at
hello.
Heritage of Aloha. She was there, and in fact, she says it's so beautiful. You can tell the love he has for his wife through his song. Aww.
Oh,
That's nice.
Stop.
That's nice.
It's on. The competition is on. And my wife is like, "Hey, you gonna write a nut on for me or what?"
Auntie Jerry
You see,
says, and to speaking to the comments as what you were saying, Teeny, it was wonderful time celebration for your father, and it was a pleasure, and thank you for asking me to be part of the celebration.
she's talking about the We Are Samoa gala that we had last year, and she performed. She did such a wonderful job. It was such an honor to have her represent Hawaiian music there.
Oh,
Thank you, Auntie Jerry.
yeah. Here's one brother over here, Kevin Wiedemeyer. Kevin lives in San Diego. As brother Kevin says, nice music. We love brother Kevin in San Diego. And
Right on, brother Kevin.
here's Yvette. Yvette's a North Shore girl. Kahuku, the music was soothing to the ears, indeed, and touching the heart. And you can tell it came from the heart. It was so beautiful on that. And Kay over here is applauding. She's saying, "Oh my goodness, that was just gorgeous. That was good." Thank you for the comments, here, everyone that's been watching. We appreciate the comments, and no worries. This is live, and so us guys all stay home. So if you get chickens crowing or kids running around, no worries. It's all it's all good.
Tini can
Oh,
put the
you didn't
chickens
hear
up soon.
that?
Ah, man. And Tini, by the way, you told me you have a son going off to college.
Yeah, Isaiah. He's I
Ah,
know we moved here when he was 2, and now he's
ah,
18, and he's in August. He's enrolling in Pepperdine.
brother,
Yep.
brother. Hard to even fathom that, right? Hard to even fathom that. So, let's talk about FAIVA music over here. Your release, you just had your CD release out on all of the streaming platforms, right? People can download your music. Um, what can they expect from with they can get samples on Spotify because I was going through and all the different pieces of music. What were you hoping to accomplish with the project as a whole? Was there just scatter, just throw stuff together, or was there like a method to the madness? Or
Go ahead, Grant or
I think,
Brian.
yeah,
yeah, I think it was like establishing the acoustic sound for Samoan music. I think was one of the major goals. And the music, at least I can speak for myself, that I grew up with in my family. Like the with the ukulele, the acoustic guitar, and like the cello kind of sound, and also the drums. A lot of the Samoan music now is more electronic. Lots of keyboard, lots of synthesized sounds, which I love as well. I love all of that stuff too when it comes to Samoan music. But it seemed like there was the acoustic side of stuff was missing. And so we wanted to add that. And so that's sort of a theme that runs through all of our songs. Everything is 100% acoustic, including the percussion and all of that. The other thing was that it's all in Samoan, the Samoan language, and we really want to highlight using not only the language but the styles of composition, the approach, the Samoan indigenous approach to storytelling through our music. And then I think the third was kind of providing a range of different styles of music as well in the album. And the title of the album is FAIVA Samoa, and FAIVA is just means craft, you know, and so FAIVA Samoa means like the crafts of Samoa, or the craft, or yeah, of Samoa in general. So with that theme, we kind of use different styles of Samoan music that are all encapsulated throughout the album as well. So
Wow. Um, the the theme of if anything, um, someone's oh here's Auntie Jerry saying the video shows a lot of love, very touching, and it seems to me as I'm listening to the music on Spotify, um, there's you can tell the love, you can feel it, you can feel it. You may not, for me, I may not understand all the words. Maybe I better sit and watch Dr. Grant over here so I can learn be a linguistic uh, person as well. But you can just the feeling, the voices, the harmonies, the instruments, and it being acoustic rather than keyboards and the twanging guitars. It's just really mellow. It touches the heart. It touches the soul.
Hmm.
And I think music has quite a unifying factor. I think it calms people. It
Yep.
brings them together. Don't you think? Um,
Yeah.
Yes,
and yeah,
most definitely.
but that
Kamaka, in the era of like AI and synthesizers and all that, I feel like acoustic music is probably a necessity nowadays too. Even more, especially, and it's something it's probably going to stand out even more as people are producing music using AI, maybe. Um, and we felt like there was an era of Samoan music that discontinued, especially when people start playing live instruments, and I feel like we're trying to go back in time with that, but present it in a contemporary way at the same time. So we're bridging, the older generation who did listen to this back then, and that's all they had to hang on to. And now there's modern Samoan music now that their children and their children are listening to. But when we played this, all three generations appreciate it and can actually come together and then appreciate it and listen to it in the same room, and that's our goal too, is to bring everybody together, and hopefully that they can take this music and jam it at the beach and kanikapila everywhere they go. I mean, I think we need more youngsters to pick up the acoustic instrument, and that's one of our faivas, is to encourage the youth to play more ukulele and play more guitar acoustic.
beautiful, beautiful,
Hmm.
beautiful. And that kind of music is, I would think, easier to learn and easier to play than when you listen to a production of a music with so many electronic things going on and stuff. Um,
Yeah,
right? Like, how do I?
yeah,
How does that translate? But when the music is simple, straightforward, very organic, I think that's a good word. It is very organic. I think that's
yes,
what can be said about your music.
definitely the goal. Another big thing for us was not only make it as organic as possible, but do it in such a way where we can play it live, where we don't have, so the way you hear the music from the studio version, I mean, we want it to where we're able to at least replicate that in real time in like our shows and stuff like that.
Hmm.
So
Yep.
that's a big part of that too, is that we want to sound the way our album sounds.
Yeah, yeah.
Yep.
You don't need all of the electronics to reproduce that sound. It is just your
Yeah.
voices and the instruments. That's a beautiful thing. And to see, by the way, and to see Grant with an upright bass, you
Hmm.
know, to
Yes.
me is like, yeah, you
It's
cannot do.
beautiful.
Especially for Samoan. We saw old pictures of Samoa. They used to play the upright bass back in the day, and now not too many. And so it's nice to have Grant represent that again.
Absolutely. The sound of a acoustic upright bass is like the thumping of your heart. I mean, it just right.
Yeah.
It is so soulful. Not that I have a lot of friends that play electric basses and whatever, but the sound of an acoustic bass and just to see someone, it's I love it. I love it.
And Grant, you should see how long have you played acoustic upright bass? They should know.
Well,
I've always loved the sound of the, like you're saying, of the acoustic upright, but I never knew how to play it. And I was hoping that when we joined FAIVA, forming groups and doing samba music, I was always hoping there was someone else that could play. Even with FAIVA, like we looked at each other like, okay, because I'm an ukulele player, you know, originally, and then we look at each other like, well, who's gonna play bass? Oh, I guess it's me. So I went out and invested. I was like, let's just try. Invested in the acoustic upright, and so I started playing acoustic upright when we started FIVA, which has been what, about a year and a half
Less than
now.
2 years, yeah.
But it's been,
Wow.
yeah, it's been a good, awesome journey to learn and to connect with the instrument and connect with the sound and just to be as authentic as possible. I think that authentic as an organic in who we are as individuals and the journeys that we come through with our music, both culturally and as well, and then also in our actual sound. Um, the organic and authentic sounds of our instruments. What you hear on the record is what you'll hear live. What you see when what are the messages in our songs are the messages that we try to live by as well, in perpetuating who we are as well. And I think although we were talking about Ian Tongi earlier, and his success as well, and him as well, staying authentic to who he is, as a Polynesian, as a Hawaii boy, and his song choices, and he won the competition, and that just shows that us being our authentic selves and the power of music can bring everyone, no matter what your background is, be authentic to yourself and bring us together as one, in unity. So I think that's
And
the ultimate goal.
Whew, that's chicken skin, bro. That is so much just a truth. It's just a truth that cannot be denied. And Auntie Jerry says it's beautiful the way you play the bass. Sounded very beautiful.
Well,
Mahalo.
Grant played with Auntie Jerry at the gala. They played together, with Sean
Oh,
Ishimoto. It was a trio. It
oh.
was a nice
Yeah,
trio.
that
I was
was.
jealous.
I was so nervous. I was so nervous. I don't know if I can keep up with these guys.
There's a Bella saying, "So true, Teeny. Acoustic bridges the generations."
I
Wow.
think so.
Yes, 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 yes. And great comments. Oh, here's our talent coordinator and our production man. He's the man behind all of the productions here at Sandwich Islands. Nate Jones. Good to
Oh
see you
yeah.
guys. Mahalo for coming on the show on short notice. We just had a couple of days just to put this all together because we
Mahalo for
wanted to.
coordinating this,
Oh,
Nate. Mahalo. Thank you.
yeah.
yeah,
Nate and Abella says a class act, Faiva Imua. So, in fact, you know what, guys? Uh, Abella hit me up on direct message. She goes, "I don't know if you know this, but there's a group named FAIVA, and they're releasing their CD. Their music is so great. You have to have them on your show, Kamaka." And I said, I
Oh,
text back to her and I said, "Thank you so much, Abella. I agree. We're going to have them on in a couple of days. We're working with them right now to see what works for them." And we'll
oh.
have them on our video podcast. She says, "Oh, that's great." So
Thank you, Abella, for rooting for us, and thank you,
yeah,
Komaka, for your support.
yes,
the word
appreciate
is
it.
out, you guys. The word is out. Fiva is in the house. Please pass the word. All of our Ohana that's on our video podcast here on Talk Story Tuesday. Fiva Music, that's right there in the middle of your screen. Go ahead if you want to read more about it or share that location, that URL with your friends. There's where you can download music as well, and lots of information there. But great to just talk story over here with you guys. Thank you so much. Appreciate it. Um,
Yes.
Thank you, Uncle Komaka.
Dini, I was waiting for some of the kids to come up so we can see. I want to see how they've grown and stuff. Don't they keep them
I'm
up?
doing shit. This is the true origin of ish, ish, ish.
Oh, this talk story. This is like kind Ohana kind. Bring them on, man. I want to see the kids. I haven't
No,
seen the
I,
guys.
I don't know. My 2 young ones stay at school. The two older ones are here. Stay cooking in the kitchen. I said that
Oh,
smells good. Make sure
okay.
save something for me while I'm done.
Okay. But
Thank you for
Tini,
having us, Uncle Komaka. It's
oh
been such
man,
a pleasure and talking to your
Yeah,
audience. And man, we're very fortunate that yourself and many others in the Polynesian Hawaiian community are are supporting what we're doing, and it all comes down to us lifting each other up together. So thank you
True.
for that.
So true. Well, it's been an absolute pleasure. The comments are all coming in. Auntie Jory says, "Faiva, you are amazing." Look at the accolades, you guys. And
Oh, thank you.
there's C Honda saying, "Mahalo, Faiva." Loving the music, and Abella is saying, "Mahalo all, hui ho," and many more comments coming in. As we come to the end of our time together, it has been our talk Starry Tuesday right here on the Sandwich Island Social Network. And please keep us posted, you guys, where FAIVA is going to be
Yes.
appearing, and you guys in concert, so we can help get the word out to all of our friends to go and see FAIVA live. And in the meantime, download their music on any of the streaming portals, right? Wherever the
Yep.
Services.
Platforms like that. Yeah.
platforms, streaming platforms. That's what I was doing. You see, if I went to linguistic class, I would know platforms is the word, right? All right, you guys. Platform. All right, you guys. Love you guys. Love you, brothers. You guys take care.
Thank you, Kamaka.
See you soon.
Love you.
They're gonna go to the green
Thank you,
room. I'm gonna
Marley.
join you in the green room. So just hang on for a couple of minutes.
Okay.
I'll join you there
Yeah.
in the green room. And for our friends, we're gonna say thank you for joining us. You've been being a part of Talk Story Tuesday, presented to you by the Sandwich Island Social Network. And you can find out more about what we do on sandislands.org. Oh, yo, everybody, hui ho. We see you on Friday for the Aloha Friday show with Kermit Apio. That's going to be good fun. Until then, we'll talk to you later. Hui ho, everybody.